Hi, my name is James, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this fun hero animation with subtle pulsing dots. Let's get into it. We'll start off with a blank canvas, and I'm just going to hit F and create a frame, and I'm going to set that to absolute, and I want it to have a margin around the outside, so I'm going to pin that 24 pixels from either side, and we'll just give it a color so that we can see what's going on. And I want to curve the edges, so I'll give that a radius of say 30, and that looks good for now. Next, I want to add the dots, and to do that I go up to the insert menu, go to the creative elements, and there's lots to choose from here, but I'm going to go for grid pattern, and then when I do that I get this menu and we want the dot preset, so I'll select that and then just put that inside, and we'll pin this to each side like so. And that gives me a white background with black dots, but I actually want white dots. So I'm going to hit the styles and go to filters and go invert. Now I've got my white dots on a black background, but we want a purple background. So to get that, I'm going to add another frame, and that's by default, that's gone inside this frame. I'm going to pull that out and let's give these some names just so that we can keep track of what's going on. We want background, we've got the dots, and we've got the color frame. Set this to my background color, and we'll pin that to each side. I need the dots to come through, so how do I do that? I go to styles and blending, and then I set the blending to lighten. And now I've got my white dots coming through on the purple background. And if you need more explanation on why that works, then definitely check out my video on the lightening blend modes. But for now, we'll just carry on. Next, we want the animation. So I'm going to go over to framer.supply, and I'm going to grab the particles component. I'm going to paste that in like so. And then again, it's gone inside this frame. I'm just going to drag that outside, and then I'm going to pin it to every side like so, and preview that just to see how it looks. And you can see by default we have some white dots which move around and slightly follow the direction of the mouse. I'm just going to make some changes to that. We'll leave the backdrop for now. I'm going to change the color of these dots to match our background color. Then I'm going to reduce the amount to something like 40, and then I'm going to increase the size up to 100. And I don't want the hover effect, so I'll switch that off and move. I think I'm just going to increase the speed slightly to 1.5. That looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to switch off the backdrop by taking the opacity down to 0, and then let's have another look. You can see that this is starting to have quite a cool effect now, but I want the kind of transition between the dots and the circles to be slightly softer. So I'm going to go to the styles, add a filter and a blur, and I'm going to take the blur up to something like 25, and let's have another look at that, and that's looking much cooler. I really like that. Finally, I think I'd like these white dots to have a sort of shade of purple, just so again it's not quite such a harsh transition. And to achieve that, I'm going to add another frame on top, and I'm going to make sure that's actually on top like so, and then I'm going to pin that to every side, and then make that our background color, and I'm just going to add some reduced opacity there, and that makes these dots more subtle. And that now is a really nice animated background, and the last thing I need to do is add some content on top. To do that, I'm going to select the background, I'm going to wrap it in a stack, and I'll just make sure that the positioning carries over. I'm going to set this stack to have a viewport height of 100 viewports so that it fills the whole height of the screen, and we'll call that hero. And then I'm going to lock the background, and now I'm just going to insert a default hero section, and I'm going to drag that into our hero, and it's sat behind, so we need to pull that up, and it looks like that still doesn't work, so we need to go to the Z index to help us out. I'm going to set the Z index of 1, hit the background and set a Z index of 0, and then go back to our content, let's call that, and I'll remove the background there, and I'm going to change the color so that it stands out slightly more. And in fact, why don't we up the size of that as well? And we'll just maybe have one button, and I'll increase the margin there and increase the size of the writing slightly. And why don't we choose a really bold complementary color for that so that it stands out against the purple. Change the text, and there we go. I hope you enjoyed learning how to create that hero animation. There's a free remix link down below. If you would like more Framer resources and tips, then please like and subscribe before you go. Thanks so much for watching, and see you again soon.